Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't believe it is nearly Christmas. We have some magical additional guidance today for our readings from mistletoe, from birch and from holly. We've also got some charms that we're going to be using as well. So very exciting, and some really beautiful cards. If you are wondering why there's a picture of the Manifest with the Moon 2022 Almanac on the screen at the moment, this is going to be on one of those Amazon Kindle special offers for the following week. It starts tomorrow. It runs from the 20th to the 27th. So anyone that is wanting to access the moon timetables particularly, along with all the information from the diary and the journal, if you don't use a hands-on diary and you want to access that information, it's all in this book, and including moon timetables in various locations across the globe. So let's move that. I just wanted to put that up so that I didn't actually forget to let you know about that special offer. So let's move on. We are going to draw the cards, the runes, the charms. We're going to look at the extra guidance. Then I'm going to post the daily lunar timetable for the coming week, the slides through, and then of course we will move into the 3 different readings. I will put into the timestamps below every link that you might possibly need to access anything, and of course the timestamps so that you can watch the lunar slides. You can move straight to any of the readings that you want to access. All the information is there, and I'll put it in the comments for phone users as well. So let's tune into the additional guidance. I'm going to draw some charms as well. We move these beautiful angel cards that we're going to use as well in just a minute. So for reading number 1, we're going to draw on the energy of mistletoe. Now, mistletoe has been known and used as a spiritual tool for, hundreds, thousands of years in Celtic and Druid traditions. It's not just about romance, kissing under the mistletoe. It's about connection to spirit. It's about higher guidance, but very much orientated in love. And it is also about fertility. Fertility and creativity as well. So that's the kind of flavour that's around. It's also said to bring good luck as well, I should say. So this is the sort of flavour and energy around reading number 1. Reading number 2, we're going to use holly. Now, holly's a very interesting energy. For me, it's got a kind of flavour of energy that's a bit like the crow energy. You know how crow energy is about journeying between the worlds. When we talk about that saying, the veil is thin. Holly used to be placed on coffins, actually, to enable souls to move through from one world to another and to pass through easily. The energy of holly is really, it's very powerful, and it's very much about transition. So if you're in a transitionary space in your life, the energy of holly will help to speed that through. It will help you on your journey. So that's the kind of flavour that we have around. It's the kind of additional guidance that's coming in for reading number 2. Reading number 3, we have the energy of birch. This is a beautiful piece of birch bark. I'll just show it to you. It's absolutely magical. It's covered in a kind of a moss and a lichen. Now, birch is about new beginnings. It's literally, it's symbolised, if you know the runes well, you'll know that the rune of Berkana is symbolised by the birch tree. It's about new beginnings and growth and opportunity. Now, of course, today is a very big, huge full moon in Gemini. And the energy today, the lunar energy, is very much about transformation and new beginnings. So pretty exciting, and very powerful energy around at the moment. So wonderful day to be doing our readings. Now I'm going to draw, I'm going to draw some charms for each of the readings. Then I will draw the cards and the runes, and we'll kind of then move into that space of intuition. You may already know, even just from the additional guidance, which reading or readings are speaking to you. But let's draw from the charms. Okay. We have, I believe this is a treble clef, but this is about music, and we have a flamingo. as well. Wow, this feels like it's got the energy of laughter, love, joy about it. And I would say in terms of connection to spirit, there's something about resonance that's coming through here. You know, we think about musical tones and the way that music affects us. Be very interesting to see the cards and the runes that come. But yeah, there's something really powerfully joyful here. We have a cross, and we have a little sign which says handmade. Don't know if you can see that on there. I'll hold that up. You see the little, just says handmade on it. Okay, this is really interesting. The energy of holly, if we think about transformation, and this little symbol, handmade, and the cross. What are you creating in your life? I'm going to say that this is about transition, I think. The reading number 2 will be aligning with some form of transition, but it's something to do with your own creativity. And I think it's creativity that's connected to your spiritual pathway. This reading may well bring information to those of you who are aligning with your calling in a creative way. Let's see what we draw for the reading number 3 with Birch, the energy of new beginnings. Oops. Okay, we have a feather. We have this little kind of, it's like a walking stick. This is the kind of thing that we often hang on a Christmas tree. You know, those candy sticks sometimes. But it's really interesting. What I'm sort of hearing really is this is a walking stick and this is a feather. This is like guidance on your pathway. You know, a walking stick aids us when we are walking a particular pathway. And a feather is often a symbol of divine guidance. You know, when you ask a question and you're not sure of the answer and you ask for a sign and suddenly a feather appears, or feathers appear, little white feathers suddenly appear, and you know your kind of angels are around you. Here we have these beautiful angel cards waiting for us to use. So there's something about your new beginnings and being shown maybe signs, signals on your pathway. Okay, I'm going to put those to one side and I'm going to actually draw some runes next before I draw the cards. Now I'm not going to turn the runes over just yet. I'm going to put them in place. Just let you guys feel your way into them as we draw them. Okay, so those are our runes for each of the readings, and we will turn them over when we get to the readings. Put those over to one side as well. Now we're going to draw from several different packs of cards today, this being the first. Okay. I'm also going to draw an animal spirit guide as well. We'll draw an Art of Manifestation Oracle card. And lastly, we are going to use the Light Seers Tarot this week. Wow. Okay, so that's for that reading then. Without a doubt, that one was definitely finding its own pathway. As they do, of course. Okay, so there we have our readings, our cards, our runes, our charms. We've had some additional guidance already coming through from the mistletoe, the holly and the birch, and also from our little charms. And we'll see we'll see what the readings show up. So wonderful friends, I'm going to leave you to sit with your intuition, and then you can check in the timestamps and move to whichever reading or readings are speaking to you. And I'm actually now just going to put up the daily moon times, the lunar times for the coming week ahead. Wonderful friends, just a wonderful energy of Christmas around, such a tingle and a buzz and an excitement. So yeah, guys, I will see you in just a second in the readings. Tons and tons of love to you. Oh, and don't forget the lunar updates. I do post them on Instagram and Facebook as well daily. So if you just want to tune into them every day, check in with where the energy is for the day, you can find them there. Tons and tons of love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 1. We have the lovely, lovely energy of mistletoe. Beautiful resonance coming from this little note, this treble clef, and the flamingo. There's something very joyous about this reading. So let's have a look at our runes. Now this is interesting. We've got the rune of movement in reverse, and we have the rune of gateway. Now what this is telling me, because the rune of movement is all about moving forwards. It's about something gathering momentum, moving and flowing into being. And the fact that it's in reverse with the rune of gateway, for me this is speaking of you're needing to review something. There's something that needs to be kind of looked at or understood or seen clearly in order to be able to then move forwards and move into the flow. It's like literally getting in flow in some way, shape or form. You're being asked to review, to notice, to be aware of something in some way. Let's have a look and see what our cards are showing. So we have the card of strength, which is in reverse, the 8 of cups, oh wow, 2 8s, and the 8 of wands. We have whale spirit, trust the great mystery, release the past, not the right time, and ask for help from others. This is a really interesting, let's move these along, see if we can get these lined up. So we want to be able to see all our cards here, ideally, I think, like a kind of a row here. Trust the great mystery. I think this was the way, the order they came out. I think this was right. I think the trust the great mystery came out first. Release the past. Either way, it's really clear. Not the right time. Ask for help from others. Okay. Going to move these along. Yeah, you're needing to not move. I want to say to not move something forwards immediately. There's just something you're needing to see here. It's really interesting. I feel like, so mistletoe is about fertility, it's about magic, it's about the universe, having your back, the spirits, your spirit guides and your angels kind of showing you the way. But there's something you're needing to reverse. I feel a little bit like, it's, you know, when something kind of knocks you off balance, when you're on course and you're doing really well and something suddenly comes along and knocks you off course, and you just need to review here. That's all it is. This is literally saying just press the pause button, review. There's time that there's something here that we need to, something for some of you. I feel like someone's, I want to say prodded you is perhaps a way of saying it. Somebody's pressed your buttons. Someone's pressed your buttons, and it's stopped your flow of momentum. That's what, but you know, that happens, doesn't it, to us in life? That just does, you know. But something has interrupted your momentum, but actually there's a real purpose to this. I think whatever's happened, it's exposed some aspect of vulnerability for you, actually. But it's not a bad thing, because it means you get to release the past. You know, when something shows up out of the blue, sometimes unexpectedly something happens, and ultimately there's a mirror that we're looking at in some way, shape or form. But there's real purpose to this. The mirror that you've been shown, the circumstances that have come to light, there's magic around you. There's magic in the air. It's like you're being shown something so you can release it and move beyond it. It's like there's a potential, I think, for the liberation of something. And if you're feeling, I would say, fed up about something, because I do feel something's knocked you off track. If it's not moving forwards quickly enough, then, you know, I want to sort of say, don't fret about it in some way, actually. Do you know, I need to voice, I always speak when nature appears in our garden. The most beautiful bird has just come into my garden. Now, I'm not actually sure if that's not actually a cuckoo, which is quite unusual. I've only ever seen a cuckoo in my garden on one occasion before. It's really a very, very stunningly beautiful bird. It's very interesting because a cuckoo it often indicates the first signs of spring. So there's something about you needing to align, tune in with, this is of course it, isn't it? You're needing to tune into something here, to see something with clarity in order to move forwards. Now, ask for help from others and not the right time. So there's been something that you're needing to see, something you're needing to investigate, something you're needing to become aware of. If you're involved in a creative project, you know, it feels like there's a deliberate pause here, which is happening because there's purpose to it. You know, trust the great mystery. You're needing to release something and move beyond it. You're being shown something, and others will help you here. You don't have to do this alone. There's definitely support around you, and it isn't the right time to plow ahead with something. Okay? The right time at the moment is to review and to make sure that you have all the pieces in front of you. That's what I feel. It's very interesting that we have sort of almost, it's like, you know, when you have a jigsaw puzzle and you've got all the pieces in front of you and it just looks like a muddle of pieces, and in order to kind of build that picture, to see what the picture is, we've kind of got to start to systematically process something. Yeah, I feel you're needing to align and attune with something in some way. Yes, it's really interesting. I felt a real joy and a real sparkle when I started this reading, and I almost feel as though there's something that's, when it's a button has been pressed, but it's put you back in touch with something that I think as a little person removed the joy from you. And now there's something about trust, again, trust the great mystery. Whatever's being poked and prodded in you, there's purpose, because it means you get to leave something behind. Releasing the past does not mean that we forget, nor does it mean that if something bad happens that this was okay. It means we make a personal choice to no longer allow our history to dictate and shape our life, both now in our present time and in our future. I feel this is like a major opportunity. If we think we've just come through eclipse season, really powerful times of transition. I mean, we are navigating the most incredible time of movement into a whole new age where, you know, so many predictions have been made. I mean, for a long, long time, so many channelings have predicted we will come through a lot of turmoil and a lot of challenge, but in order to come out the other side and be in a position where humanity can operate from the basis of love, you know, we can learn from love rather than constantly learning through challenge. But we're very much still in that transition where we're having to navigate and put the past to rest. Things are being brought to the surface for us deliberately so that we can lay them to rest and not continue to carry them with us. And that there is so much joy and potential available when we're able to do this. Whatever you were doing and you thought you were on track, whether it's a creative project or, you know, whatever aspect of your world has felt like it's been slightly knocked off balance, I want to sort of say there's a lot of reassurance here that says don't worry about that. It isn't quite the right time yet for something to emerge. You're going to see more clearly, you're going to review, and I do feel for a lot of you there's a real liberation of something. Something has been shown to you that means you can put it down and lay it to rest for good, so that the energy of that is no longer clinging to you or holding you back or hampering you in any way. And do please ask for help. You know, if I'm seeing for some of you there are friends around that you can talk to, there are people that you can speak openly and honestly with. For others it's a reaching out. Yeah, you know, there may even be a need to speak to a counsellor, or, you know, for some of you, if this has really hit something very raw, and for others it's much more about reaching out to your spirit guides and your angels. The movement will come, but the timing just isn't right. So whatever you've been actively involved in, if it doesn't feel like it's opening up just yet, I really want to say don't worry about that. You know, it will come into its own flow again. At the moment you're being asked to review. The timing is right, and part of that review is to see what kind of influences from the past have still been limiting your potential to step into the new. But I do see you emerging from something, leaving something behind. Trust the great mystery, whatever's going on around you. There's real purpose to it, and you are being asked to attune and align. I don't think there's anything else to say about this, actually, to be honest. I think I'm going to leave it right there. Just chill, enjoy. You know, we're entering the Christmas period. Whatever process you're involved in, yeah, it's not the right time to push ahead. Chill, enjoy, allow yourself to just, you know, it's like practicing the art of allowing, really. Ask for help from others. Make sure you receive the support and the help and assistance that you need in any way possible. I really want to say just prioritize yourself and your own self-care, and all will kind of right itself. This is time to release something really important that has previously held you back. Wonderful friends, tons and tons of love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 2. We have these beautiful charms, the handmade and the lovely little cross. So there's something really creative that you are producing. You're literally, it is handmade by you. I do feel there's something about the transition through to your calling here, or some kind of gift that you're going to bring into the world that is absolutely and uniquely you. Let's have a look at our runes. We have the rune of wholeness, and we have the rune of harvest. Okay, this is lovely because the rune of wholeness is, it's the path you must follow. So there's kind of one way to go here. It's the spiritual pathway, that whatever you are creating and emerging, whatever you are bringing into harvest, this is right for you. I want to say you're on track. I want to say whatever, but there's purpose to it. 5 of Wands, this is really interesting. So there's competition around you. Even potentially, I'm going to say competition and potentially envy. Now, 2 of Pentacles, it's interesting because it's in reverse. and the Two of Wands. You're in a real space of creative spark. I mean, the twos are all about moving things forwards. We have Wombat Spirit, be at home. We have the card of authenticity. Communicate clearly and no need to worry. Okay. This is really interesting. I feel like if you're involved in a creative venture, let's just think about, when we talk about our calling, your calling could be your career pathway. It could be a creative venture. It could be, birthing something into the world that is, it's just something that you love. It could also be, your calling could also be, becoming a kind of stay-at-home parent and parenting well, consciously parenting. We often think of our calling as being something that's associated with a career pathway, I think. And this is not necessarily the case here. There's something about being really drawn to your spiritual calling here. There is competition around you though. Okay, and you're needing to, Two of Pentacles, you need to remain in balance and hold your vision of the future. Wombat Spirit, be at home, authenticity, hold your head up high, walk tall, be your authentic self. This card asks you to shed the masks that you believed you were required to wear, walk to the beat of your own drum and do not be afraid to shine. In doing so, you give others permission to do the same. I feel like this is a real affirmation reading. Okay. Now, if we think about, I'm just going to really sit with your spiritual calling pathway at the moment. Wholeness, the rune of wholeness. It's that desire, that need to balance, to, as above so below, the pathway we must follow. There's something about our journey, our soul's evolution to wholeness that is, I sort of want to say magnificent, because it's all about authenticity. It's about your own integrity. It's about you becoming the best version of you. Now, whatever, let's say in this reading, there's a validation here that you are being called to be the best version of you. That's your pathway, and the harvest is here. There's a reassurance that this is going to come to fruition. Okay, so whatever this is about for you in your own unique circumstances, whether it's simply you having a voice in a particular situation, holding true to what you know to be right and true to what you believe, whether it is you following that gut feeling that says that's what I want to do, whatever it is, whether it's you wobbling in the face of competition and yet, because there's something quite competitive here, and yet sort of keeping on course, keeping your balance, maintaining your status quo. There's something here that says, the harvest is going to come, the rewards are going to come. This is about your own integrity in terms of following that gut feeling, that intuition, trusting yourself, knowing that whatever's going on, actually you have a clarity of vision here. Communicate clearly, and there is no need to worry. Whatever the competition is, okay, so this, I'm going to sort of being shown different pathways here, which is really interesting, because I think, for some of you, it could be like you're launching a book in a competitive market. For others, there could be some sort of competition around family, sibling rivalry, that kind of stuff. Because, if you think about it, I'm delving into family and Christmas here. That's where I'm being drawn. It's really interesting, isn't it? Christmas is such a joyous time. It's such an amazing time, but it can also be quite challenging. As families, we're thrown together. Sometimes, sometimes we can't be with families because of the current COVID situations. But however you look at it, Christmas can also be a challenging time. It can be an amazing time and the best of everything, and yet it can also raise challenges and difficulties and, you know, family sort of competitiveness, you know, that's those sort of sibling rivalries, jealousy from family members who see one person doing well and not another, or whatever. You know, there's all kinds of stuff that gets raised. What is really interesting though here is it's sort of saying, look, you're in a situation where you are making something. So for some of you, it's kind of your own creation. You know, so guys, if you find yourself drawn into a challenging situation family-wise, think about where you are with this, because the handmade, made of your own creation. Think about where you are with that, and be sure not to only invest in that authenticity. And, you know, you don't have to be what's required. You don't have to wear the masks that you believed you were required to wear. You know, be yourself in every possible way. This is the wholeness, the path of wholeness, the path of the warrior, the spiritual warrior. Here we have the energy of spirituality here, the cross. The path of the spiritual warrior is about authenticity. It's about communicating clearly, and you are being asked not to worry. So whatever this competitive edge is, whether it's within a family situation or it's in a working environment, it could again be colleagues who are envious of your success or envious of your initiatives, that you're doing things, you're taking charge, you're stepping up. I also want to say, take some time out. If you're able to step back. You know, here we are doing these readings today in the light of the incredibly powerful full moon, and the energy of the full moon will always illuminate, and the energy today is all about opportunity, although those opportunities may come in unexpected forms, you know, not as we were thinking. So, you know, be at home, take some time out if you need it. Hold on to your vision. You know, don't let go of your dreams, because the harvest is coming through. So just hold your own clarity of mind here. Remain in balance. Everything here is an affirmation of your authenticity. And whatever you are, I also want to say this is a period of transition too. This competitiveness, this surge of whatever this is, whatever it is around you, the energy around you, it's a transition, and I think it's going to blow over quite quickly. So I think you're going to come through it. You know, if it's a situation at work, you're going to come through it. You know, there's no need to worry. If it's a family situation, it will be short-lived. You'll come through it. There's no need to worry. If you're bringing a creative venture into the world, the harvest will come. You're just in a transitionary period. Holly really speeds the energy of transition up, and it is interesting because it really does, I almost want to say it cuts through the crap. Actually, there's something about the clarity, you know, the space between the worlds, the space where Crow travels. That's the Crow energy in the cards that we often use. The Crow energy is always about, you know, having that greater clarity, being able to see where we're going, to see the unseen. So I do feel, yeah, keep your eyes on your vision. Don't lose sight of your dreams. Hold the higher energetic of whatever this is around. You know, if you're launching a book in a competitive market, remember that if somebody loves a book, I don't know, about one subject, for example, the chances are they're going to go and buy 5 different books because they're passionate about the subject. They want to read all about it. So they're going to want to hear your individual handmade creation as much as they will somebody else's. Yours is still, the harvest will come in. You know, there's something really powerful here about coming through something where there is a competitive edge. Communicate clearly. Drop any masks and just be your authentic self. There is absolutely no need to worry here. All will happen. There's something very powerful about you being in a transition, but do take some time out if you need to. Ground yourself, stay at home. If you need to retreat, not as in a retreat running and hiding, but a retreat as in recuperation, looking after yourself. Christmas is a busy time, and a lot of emotions are, astrologically, emotions could run quite high at the moment because there's a lot going on, you know, in terms of this sort of a interesting square with Saturn and Uranus. So and it's very, very strong. It's exact on Christmas Eve. So in the coming, we're in the build up to that energy. So and thank you to those of you who have joined me in the, or are planning to join me in the collective daily prayer to hold the higher energetic during that time of intense astrological energy. Wonderful friends, tons and tons and tons of love to you. I'm going to wrap this up here. I don't think there is anything else to say. There's just that there's no need to worry. Communicate clearly and be yourself. Yeah, all is well here, and I think this will be short-lived. Tons and tons of love to you. Namaste. Welcome to reading number 3. We have the wonderful little charm of the feather, and we also have this little, looks like a little walking stick or a candy stick. It's very interesting what came through right at the beginning for anyone that's just tuning in with the reading. If you missed the bit at the beginning where I was talking, where I drew these charms and also was talking about the extra guidance, I do feel you're on the right path. I was really seeing this as a walking stick, actually, an aid to your pathway. Okay, divine guidance. Look for the signs, the symbols, the synchronicities. And this is about new beginnings. Birch always brings the energy of new beginnings into a reading. This is the rune of initiation. And we have the rune of the spiritual warrior. It's in reverse, which is really interesting. Now, the rune of the spiritual warrior speaks about discernment. It asks us to cut away the old, let go of the things that no longer serve us. I'm curious about its reverse energy here. We'll see whether we do some energy shifting in this reading. It is a possibility. Okay, so we've got Page of Cups. I mean, this is the Pigs Might Fly card. Page of Pentacles. It's also about love, you know, and wow, and King of Pentacles. Goodness me. Are you... Yeah, in reverse, in reverse. Ooh, time to collaborate. Gossip and drama. Remain positive. Gosh, within the next few weeks. Wow. This is powerful reading. So, the feather, divine guidance, signs, signals, synchronicities. I feel like it's almost as if you've lost sight of your dreams temporarily, and I'm not sure why. Okay, you're manifesting brilliantly. I mean, this is just like, this is like dreams come true. It's like you're cracking on with manifestation. It's all happening. It's all going to be delivered. You're going to sit back and just love what you have. It's kind of like, for me, it's like this, yay, I'm there, you know. So, and I would say for anyone who's Page of Cups in reverse, if you're manifesting or calling in a soulmate and that hasn't yet emerged, I think it's going to. Okay, but something's knocked you off balance here. And I think it's the gossip and drama stuff. Talking behind people's backs is one of the greatest producers of negative energy, with the potential to affect not only individuals but entire communities. Make a choice not to involve yourself in this. This card also asks that if you are unable to say anything positive or to find anything positive to say, then please consider saying nothing. I feel like, yeah, remain positive. Yeah, I do feel like something's not knocked you off your... I don't feel you're off course. It's not that kind of energy. Initiation. You're emerging, you know, you're on track. A new beginning is around you. And my goodness me, success is around you. It's just this one, we are going to do some energy shifting in this reading, because it's like there's some kind of an involvement with somebody or a situation which has a lower vibrational energy around you. You may even have been drawn into something that's put you in a space where your own energy, your own vibration is getting a little bit lower, and it's blocking the stuff that you're manifesting. It's blocking your dreams, and yet you were really, you were in flow. Everything is right for a new beginning here. And there is a real positive affirmation, you know, within the next few weeks, things are going to happen. You need to hold that vision here. If anything, I sort of almost feel for some of you guys, this is almost like that inner kind of self-doubt. You know, when you start to put yourself down, where you hold that negative conversation inside yourself, really. If I really want to say, you know, it's time to collaborate. It's keep positive. You know, this is going to happen. This is going to happen, and it is going to happen. You are on the right pathway. The signs, the signals, the synchronicities are going to happen around you. What you are needing to let go of is just this lower vibrational energy. Now, I voiced this. It came up in reading number 2 as well. It's really interesting, because Christmas is just a wonderful time. I love Christmas. But you know, it can be also really challenging, because it throws us into contact with, sometimes with family or with circumstances that are quite difficult. You know, I mean, Christmas can be just the best ever. It also raises some of the more challenging thinking patterns. It raises the more challenging situations. You know, people are often thrown together, or sometimes people can't be together when they want to be, given our current circumstances. So there's quite a lot going on around. It's come up in 2 of the readings now already. So I feel like you're completely on track here. The rune of initiation. There's something about your own pathway and progress. Gosh, there's something really big coming in here as a message, and I must voice this. Okay, so it is time to collaborate, okay? But please be discerning about who you share with. That's the message that's come through really profoundly. You know, when you have let's say you have an amazing idea, and you're going to share that with somebody, and you go out and you talk to, your energy is buzzing. You've got this incredible idea, and you start to talk to people, and every time you talk to somebody, some of that energy dissipates. And you could talk to somebody who's like, wow, go for it, that's so amazing. But you could also talk to somebody who isn't so positive, and it's almost like it tones down your idea, brings down your idea. That's the kind of energy that's around here. It's the same, you know, if you have just met, I mean, we have cups, Page of Cups. Cups are all about relationship. If you're calling in a soulmate and you've met someone, don't listen to what other people have to say about them. You know, or if family or friends don't quite like them, you know, maybe sometimes people put down other people's happiness because they're struggling themselves, and we must, you know, love them and appreciate them. That it's definitely time to collaborate, but I really want to say, be discerning about who you speak to. Collaborate, but collaborate with care and discrimination. And I don't mean discrimination in the negative use of that word. I mean in terms of discernment. Okay? Now we're going to do some energy shifting here, because the timing here is ripe for you. What is important is you keep your energy buoyant, you don't get drawn into anything, you only involve yourself in positive thinking, because everything is primed for success here. Now, whether this is to do with love, or whether it is just to do with another dream that you are manifesting, your manifestations are on track, so stay on track. Okay, the key here is about your own vibrational energy. So sit with the way this feels to you. Sit and, yeah, just sit with the way it feels. Feel it in your body. Now what we are going to do is we are going to bring in the energy of amethyst here. We've got some amethyst crystals amongst the Christmas decorations here. So I'm going to move this card, because you're going to, we think of you taking heed of this and choosing not to involve yourself in this gossip and drama. Okay, it is time to collaborate, but it's time to collaborate with discernment. Okay, so I'm going to move this forwards here. Now, I'm going to shift the rune here of discernment. Okay, I'm going to shift the rune also, actually of initiation is going to sit here. Move this over. It is time to collaborate, but it's really, really important that you do so in a thoughtful, considered manner, and you think about who you are going to collaborate with. This is all happening. Okay. Okay, your dreams are emerging. This is a card that says, believe you're on the right pathway. Don't get involved in this. Okay, this is, I want to say this is history. Let's bring our amethyst crystals in. Let's really guard against any form of negative thinking patterns, negative energy. Just create a little wall. Oops. A little wall of amethyst empowerment. Whew, that feels better. It's really funny. I feel like I can breathe again. It's like letting go of something that you could be drawn into, and this could also include your own self-doubt, which often of course comes from a history where gossip and drama has been a part of something that's, you know, kind of puts you back and become something that's a bit self-sabotaging. This is a real affirmation that you are on the right pathway. Hold on to your dreams, whatever this is about for you. The manifestation of this is coming through. You know, you are manifesting well. You know, this is working. It's time to collaborate, but do so with discernment. Hold your positivity. Reach out and hang out with people who are positive. Reach out and hang out with things that are energetically cleansing. Because actually something really significant, I think, is going to emerge within the next few weeks. This king here, I kind of want to say, in some ways, I feel this is your own manifestations emerging. But I do also want to say that if you have been calling someone in any aspect of your world, whether this is kind of some aspect of your working relationship, or whether it's an aspect of your personal relationships, there is the potential for help to come into you in a really big way. Someone who can really support you in manifesting your dreams. It does feel as though the kind of breakthrough moment will come, but it comes because of that discernment. It comes because of you keeping your energy clean and making that personal choice. Okay? The new beginnings are coming. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Wonderful friends, I am going to wrap up this reading now. Tons and tons and tons of love to you, and I will look forward to seeing you on Boxing Day for the Sunday rune and card reading. That will be on Boxing Day. I will be posting on that day with a very special Christmas reading. Tons and tons of love to you, wonderful friends. Namaste.